Alright, everyone, so we finally reach Romero's newest Dead of the Dead trilogy. But is it? Land of the Dead is George J. Romero's fourth film in the original Living Dead series. And of course, the film is about 20 years past Day of the Dead. Yeah, that's right. It took him 20 years to make Land of the Dead. I don't know what the hell he was waiting on, but I'm glad he made this one because this one was really, really good. I'm going to touch off on some things that I haven't touched off on any of the other Dead reviews. Have you ever noticed at the end of Dawn of the Dead, they leave in a chopper, right? And at the beginning of Day of the Dead, they're in a chopper. I like that little continuance. Well, in that exact same movie, Day of the Dead, there was a zombie, of course, that got smart. Like in the later Resident Evil films, he got smarter. Okay? Guess what? That crosses over into this movie where we have newer zombies, and guess what? They're smart. They're getting their humanity back in a sense. It's kind of cool. Okay? So basically, civilization has been forced into this big circled community, almost like a gated community, since the zombies have taken over the entire world, right? Dennis Hopper is the man behind all of this, behind the big walls, behind the security, behind the troops, all that stuff to keep these people safe. Unfortunately, all the poor people are outside that half of the city around another gated community for themselves with some soldiers to protect them, which is kind of the fuck you half of the community, while all the good and healthy looking people live in the city part. They live outside the city, the good city part, into the almost bullshit city part. And here we meet John Leguizamo. He's been working with Dennis Hopper for about 3 years, okay? He has just about enough money to save up to get a place where Dennis Hopper and everybody else lives. Dennis Hopper doesn't like this, of course, and says that he can't do it. It's got to go through all these other systems of people, basically all this other bullshit for him to get accepted. And that they'll talk about it at a time. So he calls the security guard in and tells the security guard to get rid of him. John Leguizamo, however, beats up the security guard and takes Hopper's armored vehicle, $2 million armored vehicle called Dead Reckoning or something like that. And yeah, so Hopper decides to call on his best friend, Simon Baker, since Simon Baker knows Leguizamo's character a lot more than he does. He tells him that they make a deal that he'll go get Dead Reckoning in exchange for a car and a lot of ammunition, to where he has to go back up north where there's nothing up there, but that's the point. So yeah, so we have these somewhat band of misfits. You got the chick from Triple X, who was that goth chick that Vin Diesel kind of had a thing for. In the middle of the movie, they had that chick. You got this other dude, and then you got Pillsbury. Pillsbury is awesome. I love Pillsbury. And by that name alone, you can kind of guess what size he is. But yeah, he's cool. The acting in the movie is pretty good. I like the acting in this movie. I like everything about it. I like that big, tall, black dude that was a zombie. He seems to be the leader of all the zombies, and he was leading the zombies to that side of town to basically try to find a place to inhabit, a place to live, or something like that. I know this because you guys see the whole film to figure out how I know that. But yes, I know this. So he was pretty good. And I noticed when all the zombies were getting shot at, only him, this girl that was beside him, and this main dude, he was like a chef, were the only three that never got killed. Everybody else was getting killed down, left, and right, but they were the only three that was still in the horde. That's kind of funny. But yeah. I like this movie. Is pretty it's pretty different. You know, they still walk all slow and shit. That's still the same. It mainly takes place at night, just like the first movie, Night of the Living Dead, but the movie has a lot of use of green screen in it. You can kind of tell, and it's kind of atrocious a little bit. But since I enjoyed the movie so much, I enjoyed some of the gore aspects of it, I'm willing to let that slide. Besides, anytime you can cast John Leguizamo on anything is always a good thing, because John Leguizamo was awesome. Very underrated actor, by the way. He never gets a lot of work anymore. I don't understand why. He's fucking cool. But, yeah, it was good seeing Dennis Hopper again in this movie. I saw this is my second time watching Land of the Dead. I watched it like 3 years ago. And I think this was his last movie, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think maybe the following year, I think it was the following year, he got diagnosed with cancer. But he fought for years until it finally caught up with him and unfortunately took him. But, yeah, Dennis Hopper was great. Always great to be the bad guy. Never count out Dennis Hopper as a bad guy. That's all I gotta say. All in all, though, Land of the Living Dead is not the best out of the saga so far, but it's my fourth favorite out of the series. So I'm gonna give Land of the Dead a B+. Let me know what you guys think about Land of the Dead down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And I'll see you guys in Diary of the Dead. Oh, I hope that's good.